Welcome back to Withdraw Consent. I'm Jack. Today I want to unveil my website. I've been working on it I've been kind of promising it for a couple years, but I have been working on it. And so it's going to be live today, and it's going to be linked in the description in every episode now. And let me talk about what it can do and what the advantages are you can get from it. So it's all free, it's WithdrawConsent.net. And let me just take you to it. Okay, it looks pretty simple. Here's the front page, right? This is the important part right here. It's got a whole database behind it that you could do a lot of stuff with. It's got the 3 newest episodes as of the time of filming this. So if you looked at it today, it would have Tuesday's episode on there, which is not live yet. So I just filmed it a second ago. So basically right here, you search for episodes, keywords, and references. And I've been building this database for years since we've been doing the show. And it's got over 1,000 keywords, got over 600 references in there. And so one of the points of what this is going to do is that it's going to allow you to have access to the references from old episodes that you remember. So let me give you a couple examples. Say you talk about, say you're in a conversation with somebody and they're saying, oh, diversity is our strength, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, okay, whatever. And you're like, wait a second. I remember the episode that Jack did on it. And remember that big sociological study, the biggest in United States history. The end result of it was by every single metric, diversity makes us worse as a country. Every single metric that the guy measured. He had to sit on the study for 6 years because he was a liberal. He had to figure out how to spin it. If only I had that reference right now, I could tell this loser I'm talking to, dude, look at the facts. This is opposite world you're in, right? Boom. You pull up the website. Let's see how long it would take us to get that. You don't remember the name of the episode, right? Now, this won't pop up on yours. This is stuff that I've searched for, okay? But, so you're like, okay, let's just go with diversity. You got to put at least 3 letters in there for it to search. So say you put diversity because you know it has to do with diversity or strength. Now you get a list of everything that has diversity that's ever been done by this channel, okay? So episodes. Here, only 2 episodes, and here it is, the downside of diversity, science. In this episode, we analyze a 2000 civic study, the largest civics. That's the one you want, right? You could also, there's keywords and references down here. You could also actually get to it here. But let's just say, so now you go to that episode. Oh yeah, that's the thumbnail. That's the one, right? So you're still talking to the guy. You've clicked on the website in your bookmarks. You've typed in diversity, 1 click, and then boom, you go down to references here. Now you could get to the video here, but you're not trying to share the video. I'm not trying to make this website so you share the videos more. If you want to, you can. But to get you to the reference, then in another browser screen, it opens the study, and here's the little article. Here's Michael Jonas, downsides of diversity, and it's going to go through all the results of the study. And then boom. So I guess it did that in a new tab, which I really like, but for the purposes of this episode, I'm going to have to flip around like that. Anyways, so I guess I got to keep it like this. So you could use it for unique references like that. Just anything you can think of. Okay, like another good example is the Oklahoma City bombing. Do you remember that was that big article by the libertarians that covered everything you need to know about all the different inaccuracies with it and how it's just not like you say you're in a conversation with somebody, you just pull up Oklahoma. We only did 1 episode on it ever. You probably haven't seen it unless you've been watching the channel for a really long time. Come down here, boom, you're going to have all the different articles referenced in the, so you're going to have to look at which one it is. Let's see, probably the lies behind, I'm going to guess. We'll see. Libertarian Institute, here's the article. And you can go down here and this thing's got bibliography at the bottom. Okay, it doesn't have a bibliography because it's set up so that you could just click up to 63 resources available in here. Anyways, so this is only one aspect of the website that you can access information like this. So another thing that you could use the website for is you could use it to find episodes that you want to watch on something that was covered by the channel in the past and that you've just never seen. Like you could literally just look up anything you want, and there's keywords. There's over 1,000 keywords. You can follow the keywords. Like if you just put something just really vague, right? Let's just say Judaism. Okay, so here's all the episodes covering. Okay, of course. And then you come down here to the keywords, click on Judaism. It'll show you everything related to it, like everything related to it. And there's just I'm not going to say there's unlimited stuff here, but we've done over 300 and something essays. And one of the reasons why we do the channel in the style that we do, where we try to just cover one issue that nobody else is covering per episode, is so that they can all be referenced to each other and you can go back and see them all. And they also make it really hard to search for videos on the platforms. Like if you're on YouTube or Rumble and you're in somebody's channel and you're trying to search for specific content, it's very hard if they don't put it in a playlist. And in our case, well, The problem is Rumble doesn't do playlists. BitChute doesn't do playlists. So we have playlists on YouTube, and I'm not sure how well those are used. There's probably metrics in there that I could look at. But this will allow you to do whatever you want. Now there's basically I have keywords that are related to everything. Everything has keywords in it. So if it's related to an episode, it'll be in there. If it's related to a references attached to episodes, but you also have episode series, right? So in order to find an episode series, you just come in here. Let's say we just type Holocaust in, and then it'll come up. And what you'll see is at the top, you'll see episode series and Holocaust. So you can click on that, and that will see before it just listed every episode that covers the Holocaust, like Alex Jones and the Holocaust. That's not what you're interested in. You're looking at the Holocaust series. And so this will have them all in descending order. And then that will provide value for you there for finding the stuff you're looking for. Anyways, so and then basically this, I'm just building this myself, but this can be a much bigger thing, because Victor and I always said the website could be much bigger than the podcast itself, because so basically you don't have to log in, sign up, you don't have to do any of that. You just go use the website, anything that you find value in it. Now later on, what we're going to do is we're going to have a way that you can log in if you want to, and that's just for people who are contributing to the website. So then you'll be able to come in here if you're logged in, and you can add stuff to this. You could add articles, you could add keywords, the keyword has to be related to at least one thing. I mean, so then basically, you'll be on a back end on the website like this. You could do a new entry, you could set it up, you could do it like you would do an event if you were doing an article. There's going to be more stuff, which is why there's some stuff on here. See, look, there's going to be war casualties and stuff like that, where you say, how many people died in Russia in World War II compared to Americans who died in World War I or whatever. And you're just going to be able to see all the numbers. Once all that stuff's inputted, you can add new references over here. You can add new keywords here. And so eventually the database of what the website is will be able to grow so that there'll be a phenomenal amount of information, and not just information about just anything in the world like Wikipedia, but information on key things that people need to know about. Like, for example, you could be reading a book on like the United States invasion of Grenada. Now, I don't know anything about that. I don't know if you do. I mean, I know it happened. It's like 79 maybe. I don't know anything about it though. But what if you were reading a book about it, and then there was this big conspiracy that nobody knows about, and the CIA was funding black money, and that's why we got caught doing it, and that's why we went in there, and nobody else knows about this, only you know about this. You can come on the website, you can log in, create an event, call it the 1979 invasion of Grenada, and CIA corruption or whatever you do. You can write that stuff about it, and you could put all your own references in there. You can, make a little bibliography things that are clickable links and stuff like that, which is how the events work. And I mean, you could create such a good article in there that I see the article come up, because I would have to approve everything and just do an editorial look through and stuff like that, and make sure everything's, up to par. And then I'm just gonna like, oh dang, I gotta make an episode on this next week because it's so fantastic, And then on the website at that point, we're gonna have a contributions page, and it's gonna show how many people, like whatever screen name you want. You got to use your name, but like whatever screen name you want, how many contributions that person's made, how many edits they've made, et cetera, et cetera. And so it'll be kind of like a leaderboard of who's contributing the most. And so I think there's a lot of value here. I encourage you to bookmark it in your browser as WithdrawConsent.net. I also encourage you, when you hear an episode that's interesting and you don't know about the subject, like it's controversial in some way and that you might need the information handy, go literally look at the references below. I put all this. A lot of channels I don't know any channels who do it, who put all the references below. Everything I talk about, it's referenced below. And if possible, I'm talking about Jewish stuff, I use Jewish references, My Jewish Learning, Yad Vashem, like whatever, And if you click on those links, if you follow the references, like just to the internet, and you just look through them and see what kind of information it is, log that in your head, you'll be able to use the website to get back to that information in some future conversation, and it will make you much richer in possibilities of what you can do and convincing people of different stuff. I also want to mention we were taking donations through Locals, which we had plugged on every episode prior to a couple episodes ago. Actually, I started changing it. And what happened was we were working with Stripe as a payment processor. And then when we first made it, I had just made this stuff and then kind of forgot about it. And then we start making the channel. And then basically what happened is I had missed you got to check a box once a year or something like that. And I didn't check the box. So then my Stripe account got put on hold. And then because they just got foreign, you're calling somebody in another country to try to handle your problems and they don't even understand English very well. I could never get it fixed. And Stripe's a terrible company. So basically what I've done is I've gone on there and I've manually refunded everybody's money. You know, they're not, I'm just not pretending like it's a ton of people, the 3 people. I refunded all your money that you've ever given. I've never taken a penny from Stripe because I can't take a penny from Stripe. It's just totally messed up. So I've done those refunds. By the time this episode airs, it'll be 7 days since I refunded them. So you probably have the refund by now. I'll never use Stripe again. I can't cancel that Stripe account because now I owe them $1.92 and I refuse to pay them if they've offered me no service whatsoever. So I can't even delete the account. So you could still go over there on Locals, do a donation that I would then have to refund manually. I hope you don't. But basically, and you could because you could follow a link from an old video and I'm not going to go back and change 300 and something videos. So basically, I'm using another company now. It's called Square. We all know about Square, but Square does their own payment processing. I basically set up 2 links that I'm going to put in every episode and on the website. And it's just one-time donation and monthly donation. And it's just, you could put in any number you want. You could put one-time donation $1. You could monthly donation $5. You could do whatever you want, you know? And if you're interested in supporting the channel, appreciate you. Not required at all. And the next upgrade I want to do is I want to increase the processing speed for the website is what I want to do. And so that would be an increased monthly fee. Basically, if nobody's been using it for a while, the first person who goes to the website, it's going to be slow to load the first time because then it's going to put like, I don't know, it's going to put the website in the cache instead of putting it in the back burner. And then if anybody just keeps using it all around the world, anybody could be using it. But then if people don't use it for long enough, like say overnight US time, nobody uses it. The first guy in the morning to use it is going to be slow to load up the first time. And you can avoid that by paying a monthly fee. So that would be the next thing I would do, upgrading if people were donating. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys have a great weekend. See you next week.